Hello, fellow chess addicts. This is Chess Addict, and I'm gonna bring to you another game. I'm playing this morning, and this is a good example, another good example of another way that you can play the London and just really smother your opponent. So let's begin. It's the same moves, d4. However, we're going to play the move d4, d5. Now, this can be looked at as the Queen's Gambit, accepted or declined. But see, this doesn't make it the Queen's Gambit right here. Okay? It's more like the Dutch Mason attack, but it's still the London. This is a way that Gary Kasparov played this opening in this style of play in a game, I think in the 80s. I forget who he was playing, but I studied that game. So now my opponent is willing to sacrifice this knight to open up this bishop, and he's willing to do that, and it would be a beautiful position opening for him. It would not be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad play. So knight e4, even though the computer is questioning it, saying it's a very weak move, giving it a 0.5, is knowing the positions that I want to end up in and the trouble that it can cause me down the road. It's not such a bad move. However, I simply play the move b4. So back here when I played c4, he needed to have either taken, he should have taken, but what it does, it prevents this. This never happens. And if you played the London system before, you know they can't wait to put the dark square bishop on the dark square bishop. But that's not happening, not in this game. He continues to try to break, so I give him a little check with the queen. He immediately blocks with the pawn, and then I bring out my knight. He comes down, and I sacrifice my light square bishop, and now we're going to stop all this tomfoolery over here. No longer will we be pushing these pawns. Now, you say, John, you sacrifice your bishop, your strongest bishop. Yes, but here's the beauty. I get to keep my London bishop. Now, my London bishop is not my strongest bishop, but he's on the strongest line. Because, see, this line is a direct access to my back rank. These pawns are pushed forward, and only one pawn can really protect this line from coming down. And all they have to do is just wait you out, and eventually, trying to establish a pawn chain, you will have a reverse pawn or a backwards pawn on this line, or they can sacrifice a piece. It's not hard to open you up from right there. However, if I'm so that's not a bad move. Plus, I want to control these. All I need to do now is carefully castle and not make a blunder. And I'll show you the blunder here in a minute. He wants to say, no, change queens for what? I have a beautiful position with my queen. I don't need to exchange queens. So now he's making another attempt, and he's willing to say, hey, look, I will sacrifice both of these knights to get this bishop free. Well, you're going to have to sacrifice at least one of them or both, and your bishop still is not going to be free because I'm going to play the move a3. So what I have done is I've formed the triangle, but I'm in more of my opponent's space. This is a very strong position. This position is not a weak position at all. So now he wants to castle. Fine. I want to get rid of this knight right now. He has to take because I'm attacking his queen and I'm attacking his knight, and I want his knight anyway. But I would rather him take me. Here we go. So now my bishop is free. He's on the strong line. We're good. Now I have to get rid of this knight. So let me show you something if you're a beginner. If you play this move here, Right now you're winning. But aside from this, of course, not at this moment because you need to move your bishop back. But if it's your turn and nothing's under attack that you need, and you play this move, you just went from totally winning to absolutely losing. You are losing. If you play this move, you are losing. You need to leave this knight alone. Let him sit right there and just be patient. So I moved the bishop out the way. He moved the knight. I moved the pawn up so he can't go back there. He comes back. Now I move this pawn up. And then I take him. Now you play the knight. Now you play knight d2. This is when you play that move. Because the bishop, he can't hop around like that. You put yourself in all... You underestimate those knights if you want to. Your whole back to this whole structure that you worked to create would be over with. Now this bishop is also dangerous. And that's why I'm going to kill him. He's got to go too. So now looking at the position... If my dark square bishop is weak because he can't travel on all my squares because all of my pawns are on dark spots, that means that his dark square bishop is useless also. Now he's created an opening over here for him. I understand that. That's fine. I don't care. His opening means nothing to me. Watch. Now what do? I play the move c6, queen c8. Now what do? Well, of course, I'm going to play the move a4. Now what do? Move my bishop. Now what, John? I'm going to play the move b5. Ooh, pressure, pressure. I'll just move my king over to h1. What are you going to do? I'm going to push the pawn down. c7. Now what are you going to do? I'm going to get a queen. He's going to lose a rook. Trade off. Now what are you going to do? I'm going to keep pushing the pawns because now, why did I do that? Did I do that because I wanted a queen and to trade off one of his rooks? No. See, sometimes chess is not about the pieces. It's about using the pieces to get a position. It's just like fighting a war. Sometimes we put troops in the north to make you respond, while we send a special operations team to the south where you're no longer at, or where your troops have thinned out because you have to go support those troops in the north because we put a bunch of people in the north. That's what I just did here. I just put a soldier in the north. Now, queen goes to respond. She's no longer on this row because she's responding in the north. And guess what? Check. 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 Uh-oh. Your queen is still in the north, bro. Check. Take. And do I care? Do I care if they come down? No, I don't. Why don't I care? Because I just don't. I have a queen still. He has a rook. He can come down. He can say check. And if he tries to check me with the bishop, I'll take the bishop. I still have my dark square bishop. Black resigned. He's totally losing at this point. And besides, knowing him, this was probably his next move. Okay, so he would probably do this and do this, and then I would do this, and then he would come here, and then I would go here. And now what? What is he gonna do? That? I don't care. I'll just do that. And then he comes here, and I go there. Now what? What is he gonna do? Trade my bishop? Nah, I don't think so. Check. He takes. And then now, I come over at the queen. Bam, check. Here's the move. He takes the bishop. No problem. Queen check. He moves here. Check. He moves over here. Check. He moves here. And then any one of these. Probably go right there, and then we go here, and that will be checkmate. He can go nowhere else. There's no way he can win, no matter what. Period. Anyway, so the lessons for beginners from this video is smothering can be very good. Putting an insurmountable amount of pressure on your opponent, it affects their psychology. It makes them think, and it makes them think way too much, and it makes them make blunders, make mistakes. You're creating two problems on the board. So you have pawns that are barreling down in your position. You have a queen over here with a army that is harassing your king, tearing the position away. You're having to push the pawns from in front of your king in order to support your king, and you're racing, trying to figure out a counterattack. But while you're figuring out a counterattack, I'm launching attack against your queen. At the same time, launching an attack against your king. Like I said in the previous video, Jiu-Jitsu, the martial art, is nothing but body chess. You make the guy solve a problem. You get your position, then you go for your submission. You shift your weight to one side because you want him to think that's where you want to be, and then when he counters that, then you really show him, you reveal to him what your real plan was. And that's what happened in this game. That's exactly what happened in this game. The analogy I gave you about the troops, you saw it. I played it out for you. So whenever you're playing chess, it's more than just about moving the pieces. You want to create space on the other side of your opponent's board while protecting your pieces. You want to put your king in a safe position, or at least where he can escape from trouble. My king wasn't necessarily safe. He could just escape from trouble. And the only other trouble that you could put on him, because I had your main piece occupied, and I was willing to trade off several pieces. But you were going to lose lose in the end in that trade. You had to protect against that. You end up losing his king bailed. His king was like, I'm out. I'm not staying here anymore. And rightfully so. I just chased him down. He lost his queen in the process and ended up resigning. Okay? So, study this game, study this video, try to find the game with Gary Kasparov playing the London system. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're a beginner, I hope you learned something. If you're an intermediate player or an advanced player like myself, then I hope you learned something too. I know I did. There's a video I made yesterday. I totally missed checkmate twice. Not once, but twice. So I need to go back and do some puzzles. Alright? Hit like if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Chess Addict out of here. Till the next video. Peace.